Sunday's game? No.
Can't tell you we're playing Sunday, honestly. No idea.
Mike, what did you think of Dakota's play tonight, especially with the other guards really struggling on the whole shooting list?
Really good. Not surprising. I've said this publicly a few times. He's coming off the bench for us right now. Who knows who will start Sunday? But there's been a lot of practices where he's the best guard on the floor. A lot of practices where Silas is the best guard on the floor. A lot of practices where Blue, Sabo didn't get opportunity tonight, but he's a really talented guard. Tyron Lawrence was fantastic in our last game, and I'm probably forgetting a guard or two. And Dylan James can play in the backcourt and developing, emerging, our most versatile guy. But it's nice to see Dakota get it going. That's what he's capable of. He actually had a couple other opportunities where he was in the paint, and I thought he got a little bit too unselfish. I thought we took one selfish one early in the game up the right sideline in front of their bench. And outside of that, I liked our shot selection a lot. But I thought Dakota, got a little bit passive there a couple times. He's just such an unselfish guy, but he's a very talented scorer and passer.
Can you put your finger on why the other guards struggled a little bit tonight?
Credit Tennessee Tech. I thought Coach Pelfrey did a great job. Their tempo offensively, just the overall tempo of the game, they looked really quick and fast. And you go back as a coach and you think about everything you've done the last 72 hours in preparation. We just looked a little bit slower to the ball than those guys did. We struggled to contain them. They pressured us into a few ill-advised decisions. We did have some interior looks that just rolled around the rim and didn't go. We had some open looks early from three that didn't go. And then all of a sudden you're dealing with a team that's an inferior opponent that's playing with nothing to lose, that's making shots and playing with confidence. And I thought, that Tennessee Tech could have won that game. And they play that well, in conference play. They're going to have a good year. But their ability to isolate us, we had to get to a point where they're really exploiting our ball screen coverage, and we got to where we did a lot of switching down the stretch. And then in isolations, they just made some big shots off the bounce. And some of those possessions, we did a pretty good job. A good offense always beats good defense.
I was going to ask you, they made some pretty crazy shots at times from three, but just overall, from a perimeter defensive standpoint, how do you think you guys did tonight?
Not great. But again, I was really impressed with their speed. I mean, we struggled to stay in front of the ball. Not only the contested jump shots, particularly the threes off the bounce, that were heavily contested, some of them, but also their ability to put their head down and get in the paint and finish, and some of them were and ones. They were good. They were really good tonight. We've been a lot better than that defensively, a lot of practices and our exhibitions, of course, but I thought Tennessee Tech had a lot to do with that.
Asa tied a program record previously held by Dominique.
Yeah.
Leads the team in rebounds. Just when he comes in here and talks about needing to be better, what does that say about the maturity that he has, and what did you make of his game?
He's a winning player. He's about the right stuff. He'll be in the gym tomorrow morning getting shots up on his own. He'll be the day off tomorrow. He'll be begging the GAs to leave the gym to work him out. That's just who he is. In the summer, he'd kick him out of the gym. You need some rest. He understands it. He gets it. He knows that we weren't at our best defensively, and he'll put some of that on himself. Although he was fantastic. I don't think there were as many defensive miscues with him as there were across the board, generally speaking. With 6 offensive rebounds, in passing lanes defensively, altering shots at the rim. He's mature beyond his years. He's an accountable player. He's got high basketball character.
How many records do you think he's going to break before he's done here?
Oh my goodness! I hope he breaks a few. It's pretty cool just to be the same sentence as Dominique Wilkins, right? Pretty cool.
What's it say that the UCF team you just beat the other night, like you did, knocks off Texas A&M tonight, and you guys struggle like you did with Tennessee Tech?
Yeah.
College basketball, baby.
College basketball, you said it, right? It's wild. I don't know if I'm correct or not, but I heard there's another.
North Florida beat South Carolina.
Yeah, just another odd one in our league, and I'm sure South Carolina bounces back and has a great year. But anything can happen, anything can happen. A couple of those late that they shoot go, and we miss a couple more free throws. Who knows what happens down the stretch? But I did like our boys down the stretch. With the portal these days, there's always been surprises. It's why it's the greatest game on the planet, to watch. But even more so these days with the current landscape of college basketball.
We saw you pretty animated with one of the officials at one point.
Oh my goodness.
Was there something specific?
Oh my goodness. No comment. I'm not. Because if I start, I'm going in. I'm not. I haven't done it for a long time, and I don't want to start.
Coach, 16 offensive rebounds tonight. How important is that for this team, especially when you look back at previous teams that you've had here?
Yeah, and we talked about that, right? In the spring, more so after our class was complete, summer, fall, when we talked about, what do you expect with this team, with this roster? And I would have been shocked if we're not significantly better defending the glass, defending the paint, blocking and altering shots, and then obviously on the offensive glass, and also just getting easy ones. I mean, how many times did these last couple of times you guys have seen us where we're just in the paint and we get our hands on, whether it's a loose ball or a dump off or a lob, but Ace has just got an ability to make things look easy. Sample does too. Justin Abson, RJ Godfrey, he normally, collectively, those four normally, along with Dylan, I think finish it better. But again, give Tennessee Tech credit. I thought they had really physical wall-ups. They were smaller than us, but they played just as big.
What'd you make of how Silas played tonight, especially with the foul trouble?
He had a couple tough ones there, and wasn't his best night, but I do think he collected himself and played with some poise and some maturity down the stretch defensively, and then against that pressure. We made sound enough plays to get to the line and finish the game.
What do you want cleaned up before Sunday?
Transition defense, defending the three. This team also's got a ways to go. It's easy when you're at Charlotte and you're up big late and there's no game pressure on you. And the thing's falling and we're getting tip dunks and what have you. And you play Central Florida, who we all knew was a lot better than that. We probably weren't that good. You hope to be that good, in a couple of months. But when you're up 15 or you're up 30, it's a lot different than when you're 4 minutes left and you're up 4 points or what have you. And there's game pressure on you, and you have all of these new guys. And Ace is not a guy, at least going into today's game, where we say, let's play through him a lot. He went and got 26 and 11 off motor and talent and work ethic. And now it's equal opportunity, a lot of stuff we were doing today, but that's another area where we've got to grow and learn like who we are, who's getting the ball in what spots at what time of the game, and how we're going to execute what we can really hang our hat on. So we'll be able to learn a lot from this game.
Is it hard to get Santo minutes when you have the other front court guys?
Yeah, Santo's one of the most talented guys I've coached, and especially in the front court, and he's going to have some monster games for us. They just spread us out. They played the one conventional big, Craig, 2 minutes. So for 38 minutes, they played 5 guys that can face you, drive you, pass it, shoot the three. Now, I know one of those guys doesn't shoot the three great, but they had 4 or 5 3-point shooters on the court for 38 minutes. And to have young bigs out there in the perimeter doing stuff that they don't do every day in practice, because that's not who they're defending, it's hard. But he'll learn from it, and we'll all learn from it.
What did you make of RJ Godfrey tonight? Had a double-double, but it felt like it was kind of a quiet double-double.
Yeah, that's who he is, right? And he had a couple chippies right there at the rim that went halfway down and came back out. He could have had a prettier line, right? But he doesn't take plays off. I've said it for a long time. I love coaching a man. He's efficient. He's about the right stuff. Had some physical wall-ups. Was pretty good in transition defense compared to the rest of us. He's not a guy that makes a lot of mistakes offensively, defensively. He's hard to block out. He's a blockout guy defensively. When we were in switching late in the game, he kept those guards in front of him. He just did. He's good at a lot of stuff.
Coach, you got a lot of new players on the team as well this year. How do you think team chemistry and working well as a team went tonight?
Okay. You know, I love where we're at in terms of culture and connection and chemistry, but tonight, you know, we struggled, and how we respond to our struggles tonight will be telling moving forward, in terms of how connected we really are. It's easy to be connected when you're up 30. You know, it's easy to be connected when you hadn't played an exhibition and everybody's scoring in practice. And we've got a bunch of really, really good guys too. And so we're off tomorrow. We come back Wednesday. We'll learn a lot about, you know, who we are in terms of our approach to practice. And I'll be shocked if we don't have a really good one. This is probably the best practice team I've coached. And they love to compete, and these guys, they work. So I'm going to get back to
Coach,
work myself.
What do you make of Luke Haynes' play? 0 for 5 from 3 tonight,
Yep.
but led the team plus minus.
Yep.
How did he affect the floor in other ways other than the shooting?
I thought he played within himself. He's 0 for 5. He had pretty good looks, but sometimes you're 0 for 5 and you're really good shooter that turns into 0 for 7 because you take a couple crazy ones because you put pressure on yourself, and he didn't do that. We got backdoored a few times, our guards collectively, and he was part of that. We'll have to learn from that, of course. Didn't stay from the front of the basketball, containing the balance quite as well as we need to moving forward. But he's a sophomore. He understands our system, and he's going to have some really big games for us this year. We good?